The Devil You Know, and a Black Friday Massacre. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, November the 28th. And wow, the time is flying by as Christmas is now just around the corner. And of course, the end of the year is near. And from a trader standpoint, the year is over in about 2 weeks. So we'll see where it all brings us. But in the meantime, this update first part of the update is brought to you by our friends at Strategic Wealth Preservation. That is where I do all my shopping for physical metals, whether I'm putting them in storage or I'm taking delivery on them. But you can check them out at swpcayman.com/Bubba-trading. That's Sierra Whiskey Papa Charlie Alpha Yankee Michael Alpha November.com/Bubba-trading. In the meantime, we saw Friday a massacre, which we'll get into in our market segment and market update. But there are so many issues to discuss, and none of them are good. I mean, you can start with the relationship between the left and globalism, and of course that brings in Marxism and communism and the rest, and of course we are seeing the constant effort to centralize and neutralize everything, which really, from a capitalist view or from the middle class who is trying to move up to the next level, for those that are trying to get to the next level, is not a good situation. And this is one of the things we've talked about in the past. The very simple fact that if they get what they want now, that'll mean you will never get better than you are today. It takes away the hope to become the next Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or whoever it is you desire or admire. It takes away the dream of moving and making the next big step to change your family's life, your wealth, and the whole story. I think that's a sad state of affairs for the United States of America, one of the places that was known for freedom. And, but again, we continue to watch our freedom chiseled away with everything that this administration does. Now, as I opened up with the devil you know, I would say this. The progressives just did get a big kick in the teeth, okay? The very fact that President Biden reappointed Jerome Powell basically gave the progressives the finger, okay? Because they were dying to get Lael Brainerd. We've heard the genius Elizabeth Warren, who's already made her money. See, this is the point. She's already made her money. She's already worth millions and millions of dollars. And of course, she's blaming inflation on everything but what the facts are. Okay, the very facts of the inflationary cycle we're stuck in is directly correlated, not to COVID, not to Donald Trump. It's directly correlated to this administration we have right now. It is as simple as this. And somebody say it can't be that simple. It is this simple. Okay. The moment you decided that you wanted a green environment, you wanted the Green New Deal, you wanted to shut down all fossil fuels, okay, and you did. And you said, okay, so let's give control to our enemies in Saudi Arabia, Russia, and China, okay, and not be a net exporter of oil anymore. What did you see happen? You saw the price of crude oil go from $30 a barrel to $80 a barrel. Yes, I know it sold off last week. We'll get into it. But basically, from 30 to 80, you saw your prices at the pump go from $1.49 in some places in the country to $3. In my case, it went from $2 to $4. Okay, so you saw prices double. And of course, you had the president send a nasty letter, very sternly worded, telling the oil companies that they were gouging. Well, let's just do a little bit of math together here, okay? If you have a 10% tax on the price of your oil, which in many places it's more, like here in Illinois, okay, and the price goes up, does the tax not get higher? Does it not make the price higher? So very simple math that a second grader can do would just prove to you that if you took something from 2 that was now 20 cents per gallon to 3, your tax would now be 30 cents per gallon. So you're already raising an additional 3 to 4%, even with the exact same percentages that you were working before. Now, the idea of getting to a green environment is about as dumb as you can go. We are already the greenest in the world today. And again, I don't have a problem with the attempt to get to the EVs, okay, electronic vehicles. And I think that someday we may get there, okay? But it is a long way away. You cannot convert the entire population over, because we don't have the power grid. But let's say we had the power grid. The common man doesn't have the money to go out and buy a new car all the time. Okay, if you've ever noticed on the roads, there are still cars running that were built in the 80s. And I'm not talking about classics. I'm talking about people who are driving cars that were built in the 80s and 90s. Okay, this is the problem. Okay, because when you don't give reasonable thought to an idea, and you decide because of the progressives that you're going to shut down an industry that paid great wages to a lot of employees, which created business for restaurants, for homes, for rentals, for everything you could imagine, and you go, okay, let's cut that out of the economy and no longer produce, so that now we can buy and be a buyer, not a vendor. Okay, and now we can pay twice as much. Okay, which means that the suppliers are going to have to push the prices up twice as much. And of course, we know that every time there's some nice movement in any commodity, the end seller is going to raise accordingly, if not higher. And when the drop comes, they will drop, but they will not drop in as much as it came down, which again creates another problem. And there's where more profits are created. So, when you look at it, and I've said this, I think, every week now, in China and India, which will never, ever stop using coal until there's a cheaper way, are 36% of the population. So what is our 4% of destruction to our country going to do? Okay, what is it? What are we going to do to ourselves? Okay, when we were in total control around the globe, and now we are in total disarray, filled with hatred, filled with conquer and divide, filled with some of the very wealthy trying to create even a bigger mess in this country to profit on their own agendas. Okay, so. We see now there's another new COVID variant. I guess the mutation and the COVID variants will be coming as long as those who want to grab the cash and screw the middle class are going to be around. Okay, because I don't know. Listen, this is just opinion. I have no idea about these variants. Okay, I do know one person that had COVID. And I know, and I am not saying it doesn't exist. Okay, I'm not saying I don't know anything about it. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a whatever you call those guys, those doctors, those disease doctors. But I do know one thing, that for some reason we combat one and a new one comes out. Now, there's an interesting lawsuit going on against Fauci and Gates and a few of the others that they say that they're creating this to profit from. Now, again, I don't know if that's factual either. Okay, but I do think it is interesting. But I do find it awfully strange that we continue to come up with new variants, and now there's talk of new lockdowns, which is the excuse they are giving for Friday's spiraling out of control Black Friday burial in the equity markets, in almost every market. The oil markets, the commodity markets, every market got destroyed. And again, the excuse being given is the possible new lockdowns and the possibility of another strain of COVID. Like I said, does it exist? I have no idea. Okay, but I do know that I do not trust the progressives. I do not trust the agenda of this government. I do not trust what is going on. And I do know some things for facts. And of course, there is big money behind many of these protesters that are actually paid protesters. They're not neighborhood people. They are paid protesters. But the biggest thing that I now see as a new concern is asset-backed securities. Okay, now this is what created almost every collapse that I can remember has been created by this same very indeed reason. When you start to compile assets and make a security or a bond out of it, and you mix in a bunch of crap, but you rate it high because nobody can dissect what's in it. But we're back in that again. You're now starting to see all these assets combined to make a bond. And one of the reasons they need to make bonds is because they got to raise money. And of course, they're highly profitable for the providers. But that's just a warning sign. Again, I don't know when the market's going to collapse. I don't know that last week was anything more than just a sell-off. Other than the Dow, okay, nothing had any dramatically horrible damage. It was close. Okay, but nothing had anything really nasty. Again, so you have to look at it from there. But the simple fact that we're working towards a world currency, which I've mentioned here for over a year, and it was easy to spot. And this is because the central banking system, the governments around the world, the fiat currency system, their job is to steal from the taxpayers. Their job is to give you taxation without representation, which is by diminishing the value of the currency, which now brings into the question, is Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency world, is that real wealth or generational wealth products? Now, again, I'm a fan. I wish I had bought it a long time ago. Okay, I wish I would have bought it when I first thought about it. I did not. I have enough that if it goes to zero, I won't lose any sleep over it. How's that? Which is the same position I would recommend to anybody. But at the end of the day, okay, it does have a chance to be real generational wealth because of the fact that central banks cannot manipulate the value. It is a free trading currency, or whatever you want to call it, that trades 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there is no intermediaries in between. So nobody can come in and make your Bitcoin that is worth $60,000 worth $50,000 by making some adjustment into the money supply. Now, again, is it real? Listen, nobody knows for sure. I do believe that it is the currency of the libertarian. I do believe that because it is a free floating currency without central bank intervention, because the central banks should be abolished, okay, because they do not do the job they were meant to do. They are now a political organization, okay, and they're basically, again, taxing us because this with like inflation and things like that. Their job was supposed to be to watch the money and watch the jobs. Well, they're far past doing all that. And of course, Biden has never been the sharpest tool in the shed. We already know, everybody knows that. That's not a secret. But to open up the Strategic Petroleum Reserve for a temporary relief, so to put a Band-Aid on a wound that needs a tourniquet, is dumber than dumb. Because that strategic reserve has to be refilled. Now, where are we going to refill it from? There is one solution to the inflation problem. There is one solution to the financial problems in this country. There is one solution that would put us right back on track where we belong, and it's very simple. Reopen up the fracking and the shale producing, and let's go back to being a net exporter. Let's work to reduce every year so that we produce less as we start to create green energy that we can really depend on, not the dreams or the progressives trying to bring in UBI, universal basic income, and screw the American taxpayer. That's what you should be looking for, because next week we'll talk about that the U.S. has become a real powder keg, and the real chance for another revolution in this country is real. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horowitz, and as always, I thank you for being here on this holiday weekend. I think every weekend, but this holiday weekend. We're going to step out here for a break, and we'll come right back with our market update, and here we go. Well, guys, look, again, as we talked about, we have sponsors that help the show keep going, and we have to produce it and put it out. And I just wanted to remind you to check them out. And, Capital Trading Group, it's one of our brokers. Now, we have many brokers, and I have Thinkorswim, I have Schwab. Just to be full disclosure, I got brokers, many brokers. But I prefer CTG for our futures and commodity trading. Listen, they're a great company, great service. They've got a new product they just came out with. They've got great products of their own. They manage all my accounts, and they're the only ones who are approved for letter of direction trading. Check them out. info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And our equities and options partner, Trader, it's $10 a month. In fact, I did a webinar on Friday on a new product and some other things that we're doing. And somebody said to me, I paid $12,000 last year. I said, well, you could have paid $120,000. But you want to pay $12,000? Hey, if you got $11,880 to give away, give it to me. In the meantime, Trader is great. They've got great service, and not only that, but listen, we've got their APIs. We can automate your trading with our equity portfolios at no cost. You hedgers, you have a license fee on the software, but it does not change your brokerage fee. It's still $10 a month. And soon, first quarter, we'll be going worldwide with our automated trading. But in the meantime, that's up to you. But try.trader.com/Bubba. That's try.trader.com/Bubba. And Family Farms Group. Look, farmers, you got to check them out because they will help you do the things you don't want to do. And that is familyfarmsgroup.com/Bubba-trading. familyfarmsgroup.com/Bubba-trading. And of course, our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horowitz, and of course, our market update. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, November the 28th, and we're moving right along. And of course, last week in equities, like a burial, okay, and Black Friday. The Black Friday, everything was on sale. It was like going to the stores. But this was a pretty much of a panic. Volume was exceptionally high for a holiday Friday. But it wasn't just Friday. The week was not very strong. To begin going into Friday, the week was not very strong. From the moment they named Jerome Powell, the devil we know, as reappointment, the market started to go into a little bit of a tailspin. Okay. And, again, are we changing directions? Are trends starting to change? Well, they are a little bit. We mentioned it last week. And again, we're mentioning it again this week. I mean, it is something to think about. It is something to look at. Okay. But again, we're going to trade our algorithms and our trends. And that is all we're going to do. And we're going to trade our new day trading product we introduced on Friday. Okay. So, but in the meantime, okay, as you look at the markets, so the Dow, Russell, S&P, and NASDAQ all were under heavy pressure, especially Friday. You saw the NASDAQ was down over 300. The Dow was almost down 1,000. The S&P was down almost 100. Okay, and the Russell was down almost 1,000. So now for the week, they were all lower, and we were short the Russell all week. And tonight or tomorrow, if you trade with us, you'll be reversing your Dow to be short. So now we'll be kind of split the market, still long the S&P, still long the NASDAQ, short the Russell, and short the Dow. Now, again, the ETFs that correlate the Qs and the SPYs are going to reverse tomorrow, okay, in the equity markets, which means that another down day, and it doesn't have to be a big down day, but probably another day down, and you will see the rest of us be reversed in totally short. And again, I don't predict, but I can say that this is something that is interesting, and I will tell you to watch tomorrow morning's opening. Okay, actually gets tonight into tomorrow morning. If they're under heavy pressure, okay, into the morning, into the open, I would very seriously consider becoming a buyer, at least for a trade. If we capitulate into the morning, I think you have a real opportunity for a real big rip your face off rally. But we'll see, and we'll talk about that on tomorrow's Bubba the Daily Update. In the meantime, so we're going to be short the Dow and the Russell and long the S&P and Nasdaq. Gold, silver, and platinum, we reverse. We don't trade platinum, but we would be short. We are short gold. We are short silver. And they were both lower last week. Gold looks really bad all of a sudden. If you looked at it Friday and you believe that gold is a protective asset, it did not perform. It was up $30 at one time and closed, I think, down for the day or unchanged on Friday. We remained short both gold and silver, and if we did trade platinum, but that does not prevent or preclude me from buying physical gold and silver and platinum and putting it away. Okay. Crude oil got smashed. Biggest down day I've seen in a long time, down over $10. Brought us back into the 60s. Okay, I'd like to go back to the 60s. But, look, the strategic reserve, all the reasons, whatever, but you had a basic meltdown, sell-off, COVID, whatever, but it got hammered. We were already short, so that was a good thing. And obviously we remained short. Natural gas had an up week. We're still short. I'm never a big fan of being short natural gas this time of year because of the weather. But it looks like it's going to be a mild winter, so you might see some selling. Again, we're short until we're not, and we will reverse when it's time. Copper, lower week, really a whippy week, but at close the week lower, we remain short. Bonds and notes, we're going to reverse those either tonight or tomorrow morning as well. That depends on you, but we are going to reverse bonds and notes. We were short, and of course it was great until it wasn't. And you saw they were up huge on Friday, and that's a fear play. But what didn't make sense is the dollar being lower on Friday. When the VIX was spiking much higher, the dollar should not have been lower. It's like, that's not right. Usually the dollar is one of the major fear assets because, of course, for today, it is still the reserve currency. But at the end of the day, that's what it is, and it was lower on Friday. Now, it was still high. It was higher for the week, and we're still long dollars. And, of course, the actually big rally during the earlier part of the week might have been the prelude to knowing that there might have been some damage done on Friday. I just didn't expect that type of move, although I've seen it once before on a Friday, on a Black Friday, but never like this. In the meantime, we're still long dollars. And as we look in the grain markets, okay, they still look good. They're still moving higher, okay. They had flat to higher last week, basically, even with the big sell-off on Friday, all right, and I think they look like they're going a lot higher. I think there's a lot of room to go. I think that the grains look great, along with the protein complex, which continues to charge ahead. Listen, when you have inflation, you have major input costs that go into this to begin with. So farmers have to get prices higher, or they're going to be out of business. You cannot exist if you're paying $6 an acre to produce your corn and you're getting $5. It's not a very good equation. You're not going to be in business too long. And I think this is something that we seem to forget, okay, that the inflation affects everywhere. And fuel goes into fertilizer, okay? Fuel goes into their tractors, the combines. Fuel goes into their heating. This is a problem. Okay, this is a problem worldwide. This natural gas is becoming a major problem because Russia's got total control of Europe. And, of course, why would we want to get all our money back? And we could actually sell our natural gas at a normal price, finance our entire debt, okay, make Europe happy, and we'd be happy because we'd be out of debt. We'd be paying a lot less, but why would you want to do that? It's silly idea to actually help the world, okay, and really take back control. But that would be, nobody wants to do that, okay. In the meantime, cotton had a down week. Okay, we're still long. Look, it's a 111. When we first got long at the first time, it was 49 cents. Okay, coffee is on its run to $3. It's up to almost $2.50. big week, big up week again. Now, I've seen $3 coffee once, and I think I'm going to see it again. And of course, I'll be a seller up there, but right now I expect to see $3 coffee, expect to pay more at Starbucks. Sugar and cocoa, we're going to reverse tomorrow, okay, because they don't open at night. We will reverse those tomorrow, okay, and we were long and we will be short both. And OJ, is down. Listen, OJ is very fickle and it's very thin, and it trades with the weather. And of course, Bitcoin had a down week, but no surprise. It made new highs as we thought and we called, and it's going to come back down. And 50,000, 45,000 would not be a surprise. Now, you do have a week from tomorrow, you've got the new Ethereum micro coming out along with the Bitcoin micro out. So we are short the Bitcoin micro at the CME. Okay. And I think that these are the things that you have to look out for. And look, I'm not predicting what the market's going to do. You know our positions, you know where we stand, and that's all I can really share with you, because I don't know any more than anybody else of what the future brings. I'm not a fortune teller. Okay. I would say that we look pretty weak, and I would say a big determination will come after tomorrow. And I would not be surprised if we saw a repeat of the Christmas or the December of 2018. But I'm not predicting it. I'll be prepared for it either way. And I will be on the right side of the market when it makes that big of a move. And that's all we can share with you here. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Todd Bubba Horwitz. And we're going to step out here for a quick break. And we'll be back with my commentary and my football right after the break. So kids, listen, we've got many partners, and of course, I'm just going to give you the website addresses. You can check them out, and that's, of course, Capital Trading Group, info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba, and try.trader.com/Bubba, and Strategic Wealth Preservation, swpcayman.com/Bubba-trading, and familyfarmsgroup.com/Bubba-trading, and of course, patreon.com/Bubba-trading. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, and of course, it's time for my commentary. And as you know, I always have something to say. And you know what I find disturbing? I said this when I was doing my radio show in 2008, in 2009, 2010. I said this then, that Obama set back race relations 100 years. Okay, a president set us back into the Stone Age. Okay, and unfortunately, the president we have today, who was, I guess, an Obama disciple, is doing the same thing. Okay. I'm 65 years old. I've never witnessed this much hatred, this much divide in this country. Okay, now you cannot blame this on Donald Trump, because Donald Trump had working the highest number of minorities in the history of this country. Okay, but I can see by everything that the Biden administration does is really more designed to create hatred and divide, because if you want to conquer and you want to bring in your universal basic income, you have to create a lot of strife. And they have a lot of help behind them doing it. There's a lot of money behind this of private funds that are working the angle. But I think it's sad that the United States of America kept making progress. Look, this is a perfect no. As you know, or maybe you don't know, but I was a Jewish kid that went through integration when I was 10 years old. I witnessed the things you saw. If you saw the movie Remember the Titans, I was part of that. I was in a lot of that. Okay. And I got the crap kicked out of me many times for being Jewish or being friendly with people of color. Okay. And of course, it was a brutal time, but I think we have improved. And I think that we're being set back once again. And as the pundits in the news on the left continue to report how bad the relations and continue to want to make the Rittenhouse murder trial about race when it was not, I think that's a tragedy. And I think that will create a much bigger problem in history. And it is sad that we allow this ignorance of a progressive agenda and a president who has no clue, with a Speaker of the House who may be senile as well, and let all this continue. But it will stop at some point. You can bet your ass on that. In the meantime, it is football. It is Sunday. And what a crappy game we got for a holiday Sunday. Actually, it probably was going to be a good game. Baltimore and Cleveland. But who knows if, Lamar Jackson, the only guy, the quarterback I knew, has always got a mysterious illness. Okay, not COVID. And Baker Mayfield's about ready for some new parts. I don't know. Baltimore's a 3.5-point favorite. I don't know. I don't even have a real opinion here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Depending if Lamar Jackson plays or not, I'm going to lead towards Baltimore, but I am not investing very much. This is to have it on TV and watch it and give me a rooting interest, because I got no fantasy players in this game. In the meantime, everybody have a great rest of your holiday weekend. As always, I thank you for being a part of Bubba's Bottom Line, and we'll see you tomorrow with an update. But of course, if you're only a Sunday viewer, we'll see you next Sunday with another Bubba's Bottom Line. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later. Thanks.